World of giant bluefin tuna fishing, right here in the heart of Nova Scotia, Canada. Picture this. Back in 1773, when European settlers first laid eyes on Nova Scotia, they were greeted by a landscape that felt oddly familiar, despite being thousands of miles away from their homeland in Scotland. From lush green hills to rocky coastlines, Nova Scotia mirrored the landscapers they left behind. But what truly blew their minds were the waders, teeming with life, from lobsters to mackerel to the mighty cod and haddock. Yet, hidden among these familiar faces were true leviathans, the giant bluefin tuna. Fast forward to the 1930s, and we're in historical prime time. It was the dawn of recreational sport fishing for these behemoths in Nova Scotia. Picture this, anglers armed with nothing but primitive tackle and sheer determination, facing off against nature's heavyweight champions. And let me tell you, folks, these methods might have been primitive by today's standards, but they were darn effective. News of this epic fishery spread like wildfire, attracting anglers from every corner of the globe. Men and women alike ventured here, drawn by the allure of landing a monster tuna, tipping the scales at over 1,000 pounds. Names like Michael Lerner and Tommy Gifford became synonymous with bravery and skill as they embarked on their quest to conquer these car-sized fish with nothing but a rod and reel. Now, picture yourself standing on the deck of a boat, the crisp ocean air filling your lungs as you cast your line into the deep blue. Your heart races with anticipation, knowing that at any moment you could be locked in a battle of wills with a creature straight out of your wildest dreams. This, my friends, is the thrill of giant bluefin tuna fishing in Nova Scotia. But wait, there's more. Nova Scotia isn't just a playground for seasoned anglers, it's a haven for those looking to test their mettle against the ocean's ultimate challenge. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a wide-eyed novice, there's something truly magical about feeling the raw power of a giant bluefin tuna at the end of your line. It's a dance of strength and agility, a test of wits between predator and prey, and you, my friend, are right in the thick of it. Imagine yourself standing on the shores of Nova Scotia, surrounded by some of the friendliest folks on the planet, as massive bluefin tuna are hauled ashore, their sheer size leaving spectators in awe. It's a sight to behold, my friends, and it's moments like these that likely sparked the birth of tuna tournaments in this picturesque corner of the world. One such tournament, held in the charming rural French Acadian community of Wedgeport, earned its stripes as the sport tuna fishing capital of the world. Organized by the legendary S. Kip Farrington Jr., this extravaganza, known as the International Tuna Cup Match, drew anglers from far and wide to test their skills against Nova Scotia's mighty bluefins. By 1939, the tournament had become a global sensation, with 28 countries vying for glory along the shores of Tusket River and the Tuna Rip. And let me tell you folks, the competition was fierce. Anglers would brave the treacherous waters of the hellhole, steaming 12 hours for a chance to hook the fish of a lifetime at the intersection of Browns and Georgie Banks. Now, let's fast forward to 1949, a year that would go down in fishing history. The numbers were staggering. 72 cup-caught bluefins, totaling over 30,000 pounds. Talk about a haul, am I right? But as we know, fishing has its ups and downs, and eventually the cup was disbanded in 1979. But fear not, my fellow adventurers, for the spirit of fishing lives on in Nova Scotia. In 2004, the tournament was reborn as the Wedgeport Tuna Tournament and Festival, a week-long extravaganza designed not only to attract spectators and participants, but also to foster connections within the fishing community. And let me tell you about 2019, a year to remember. The tournament saw 14 magnificent bluefins captured by a fleet of 16, with the heaviest catch weighing in at a whopping 684 pounds, reeled in by none other than IGFA world record bluefin holder Camille Jacquard aboard the Provider 7th. But hold on to your hats, because the record books were about to get a serious shake-up. In 1976, Camille Jacquard, with nerves of steel and a rod in hand, reeled in a colossal 1,129-pounder, snatching the all-tackle record right out from under Glenn's nose. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no. Just 9 days later, Leo Lakuta stepped up to the plate and landed an even bigger beast. a monstrous 1,191-pound bluefin that sent shockwaves through the fishing community. With each passing year, the thrill of the chase drew more and more adventurers to Nova Scotia's shores. What started as a hobby soon turned into a full-blown phenomenon as anglers from far and wide flocked to these rich waters in pursuit of the ultimate prize, the biggest tuna to ever grace Nova Scotian seas. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. And so it was with the tuna boom of yesteryear. From 1987 to 1995, a mysterious phenomenon gripped the waters of Nova Scotia. The tuna seemed to vanish without a trace. Speculation ran rampant. Was it the overfishing of herring and groundfish? Perhaps the mackerel population had been depleted beyond repair. Some even pointed fingers at climate change, while others pondered whether decades of excessive fishing had finally caught up with us. But amidst the uncertainty, one thing remained clear: the resilience of Mother Nature. Just as quickly as the doldrums had set in, the tides began to turn, signaling a new chapter in Nova Scotia's fishing saga. And so, the stage was set for yet another epic comeback, fueled by the passion and perseverance of anglers determined to unlock the secrets of the deep. Now, picture this. For years, there's been a puzzling disappearance of bluefin tuna from the shores of Nova Scotia. But hold on just a minute. What if I told you that the fish never left at all? That's right, folks. Some of us believe that these magnificent creatures simply ventured farther offshore, away from the prying eyes of fishermen sticking close to the shore. But here's where things get interesting. By the year 2007, changes in Canada's tuna management standards put a damper on recreational sport fishing. With regulations tightening and quotas shrinking, the once thriving tuna fishery was on the brink of collapse. Sport fishing was essentially shut down, leaving only a handful of lucky souls with shark permits to reel in bluefin tuna as bycatch. But as the saying goes, change is inevitable. Concerned citizens began to question why this vital part of Nova Scotia's fishing heritage was being sidelined. After all, recreational sport fishing isn't just about the catch. It's about the sense of community, the thrill of the chase, and the memories made out on the water. And so, a wave of change swept across Nova Scotia's shores. More and more people began to advocate for the reopening of the tuna fishery, recognizing its importance not just to the local economy, but to the fabric of Nova Scotia's identity. It was a rallying cry for fishermen, conservationists, and enthusiasts alike, a call to reclaim what was rightfully theirs. Fast forward to today, and the tides are turning once again. Thanks to the tireless efforts of those who refuse to let the dream die, recreational sport fishing for bluefin tuna is making a comeback in Nova Scotia. It's a victory for everyone who loves the thrill of the chase, the beauty of the ocean, and the incredible resilience of the human spirit. But here's where things get really interesting. Picture this. Fishermen armed with handline gear and rod and reel, racing against the clock to fill their quotas in just 2 days. It was a frenzy of activity, a mad dash to land as many giants as humanly possible. And let me tell you folks, nobody was messing around. These fishermen had one thing on their minds, and that was landing the biggest tuna they could find. Imagine this, 100 boats out on the fisherman's bank, each one reeling in monster after monster. We're talking giants, folks. Tuna with an average dress weight of a whopping 700 pounds. It was a sight to behold, a spectacle of epic proportions. And I'll never forget the day when I saw 25 of these magnificent creatures come into Ballantyne's Cove, 18 of them tipping the scales at over 1,000 pounds. Now that's what I call a dream come true for any sport fishing enthusiast. But it wasn't just the recreational anglers who were dreaming big. The commercial tuna fishermen knew they were onto something special. With demand soaring and the supply right at their doorstep, they were reaping the rewards of their hard work and determination. Fast forward to 2009, and the fishing community presents a proposal to Canada's Department of Fisheries and Oceans, DFO, for a pilot program reintroducing catch and release sport fishing in the PEI and Gulf of Nova Scotia regions. And let me tell you folks, it was a roaring success. I had the privilege of being on board one of the 3 boats fishing out of Ballantyne's Cove during that test season, and let me tell you, the excitement was palpable. Names like Boyd, McInnes, McGillivray, McDougall, and Gavin are synonymous with the giant bluefin charter operators who have poured their blood, sweat, and tears into this fishery. And now, as Nova Scotia once again takes its place as a worldwide destination for once-in-a-lifetime fishing experiences, its reputation as the ultimate bluefin tuna hotspot remains unshakable.